Hello and welcome to another episode of Attacking Third, a CBS Sports soccer podcast. I'm Sandra Herrera, lead NWSL writer for CBS Sports. Joined today, as always, by my colleague and co-host Lisa Roman, NWSL analyst and broadcaster. On today's episode, we have a special interview for everyone. But first, a quick reminder to follow us on Twitter at Attacking Third. Also, you can head on over to our YouTube page and hit subscribe to youtube.com/Attacking Third so you never miss a thing. On today's episode, we are joined by Maria Sánchez Morales, Mexican international, and now back in the NWSL with Houston Dash. Maria, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk about the journey back to the NWSL. Playing for Houston Dash now on a 2-year deal. So yeah, excited to talk all about it.
Love it. Let's jump into that. Congratulations are in order. Excited to have your return to the NWSL. You are joining Houston on a 2-year contract. Let's dive in a little bit, if you'd like. Let's talk a little bit about the deal, about the process to make your return to NWSL. How did this all come about for you?
Yeah, so I mean, 2019, I get drafted to Chicago Red Stars. My first season in the NWSL was with Chicago. And, you know, it was a rough year for me. So I decided to make a move to Mexico. I was there for 2 years. I tried to go back to the NWSL last year for 2021. But unfortunately, my rights were still held by Chicago Red Stars. So I couldn't quite get back there. And 2021, around April, Houston Dash acquires my rights. And the summer loan happens. So I was in Houston for 1 month. Got to really try it out to see how that was. The competitiveness that I love was obviously there, and the level of competition of the NWSL, the level of play was something that I was looking for, that I am looking for. And so yeah, I'm excited to be back finally for 2 years now. So it won't just be a little short month. Now I'm here for a good time.
Yeah, it's a real full chunk of a season, and with the team, you got a taste with the Houston Dash last summer. You played in a few games, even notched a goal with them. But now you get to return to Houston, knowing that you have more time than just 1 month. What is it about you as a player on the pitch that works and fits in with Houston?
I mean, the team is great. I think I have a lot of support from the coaching staff and from the players. I think they make me feel at home, and they motivate me to try my best out there. So I think at least when I was there in June, that helped me a lot, and it helped me grow confidence and show me that I could really compete in the league. And like you said, it was nice scoring, finally getting a goal in, because I know it usually, if I don't do that coming into a new season with a new team, it kind of makes me struggle mentally. So I'm glad I was able to get that done in June on my loan with Houston. And, you know, have that confidence from my teammates and coaching staff.
I want to chat a little bit more about Liga MX Femenil. I know it's behind you and you're into this phase of your next journey, but you were formerly with the Liga Femenil, you know, helping them get to league finals multiple times, including just this past year at the end of 2021, scoring, you know, 5 goals, 3 games. How the experience for you playing in Liga MX Femenil, kind of going from that first rookie year, right, in NWSL, making 9 appearances, right, kind of having a more of a depth role, right, and even making an appearance in an NWSL championship final, and then going to Liga MX Femenil. What was that particular experience like? What was it like going from a league like NWSL to Liga MX Femenil?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of different. The Liga MX at that time had, I think it was going to be on its 3rd year. It was still kind of struggling for some teams. You know, they didn't have as much support as other teams when it comes to investing in players and buying players. Just, you know, kind of the professionalism sometimes lacked, but I think overall, what I started seeing and, kind of becoming a part of it, I tried to kind of help and given my input from a league like the NWSL, to the Mexican league, because, obviously, NWSL holds the Olympic champions, the World Cup champions. So it was I think I learned a lot, even though I didn't play much. I think I learned a lot that I was able to bring into the Mexican league. Obviously, this last year I was with Tigres Femenil, and I think their investment in women's soccer is incredible. They just announced yesterday the new stadium with exclusive locker rooms for the women's team. So I think I've seen a lot of growth in, now it's on its 5th year, and I'm excited to see what's coming. Obviously there's some things that fall behind and unfortunately don't have the professionalism or the support they need from the institution, but I'm happy to see a lot of teams, taking it more serious and investing in it, because it's exciting. I mean, it's exciting to be a part of that.
You took the transition from playing in the NWSL and Chicago to Mexico, and it was smooth, seamless. You took that transition in stride, and you were able to experience a lot there, like you just mentioned, and the growth of the league. And now returning to the NWSL, are you tapping back into those memories of when you were drafted and being in the league before, or are you kind of wiping that slate clean and trying to create new experiences and taking with you from Liga MX into the NWSL?
Yeah, I mean, I had a tough first year, so I mean, I'm gonna take that experience and, obviously grow from it and hopefully learn from it a lot, because I think that's what I've taken these last couple of years. But I'm hoping to get to Houston and start something new, start a new Maria Sánchez name in the NWSL, and hopefully, I'm representing that I was in the Mexican League a couple of years, and hopefully showing that that we're good in Mexico too. So so yeah.
Right on. There's a ton to look forward to, right, in 2022 as the year progresses. For you personally, obviously, we're celebrating the return to NWSL, but there's also your time with the selección, right? The CONCACAF qualifiers are on the horizon, and 2023 is a lot closer than probably people anticipate. For those of us who have followed, right, the team for a long time, we know that, Mexico was unfortunately eliminated during the previous qualifiers, right? So for you, what's the energy like heading into 2022 with the international team ahead of the 2023 World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a big change. I think we've had 3 different coaches the past 3-4 years, so it's been rough. It's been a rough transition. So I think the growth I've seen just last year, obviously it was a tough start. We competed with teams like Japan, the US, and at the end Canada. But I think from where we started the year, in January, February last year to where we were at in November, I think was a tremendous change. So hopefully, we come from a big upset of not making the World Cup, and hopefully this time around we've learned from it. We've grown a lot, incredibly. So I see a great energy. I see a big difference. I see a lot of growth in the Mexican national team that hopefully can get us to the next World Cup.
Lots of growth, lots of learning from previous experiences and maybe even mistakes. And you've personally experienced a lot of that, playing in qualifiers, playing in a World Cup. But for you personally, what is one thing that you are doing to prepare differently at the international level in 2023 compared to 2019?
Yeah, I think personally, just the confidence. I think I've worked a lot on my confidence before. It was a big change for me to go from even just college to now being on a league where your idols are playing, where World Cup champions are playing. So for me, it was kind of like, are you good enough? But now I think the growth I've had in the last couple of years here in Mexico, and obviously the month I had in Houston, I think have given me a lot of confidence. And I think that's the key for me individually, that has made me change, and that has made me the player that I'm becoming. I think for me, it's just confidence.
I love that. I want to talk a little bit more about that announcement. That video that came out with Houston announcing like your arrival on the contract was epic. I loved every second of it. And in the video, you talk about, you have like this narration, and you're talking about returning to the league, right? And returning to NWSL and referring to the league as like the league of your dreams. So
Yeah.
why do you like refer to it as such? And why is it important, for you to play here and excel here in this league?
Yeah, I mean, I think just generally we have a little representation of Mexican players in the NWSL. I think for a lot of players, at least what I experience here in Mexico, it's always the European dream. They want to go play in Europe. And for me, being in the NWSL and watching the games and watching the league, for me, I mean, it's the most competitive league in the world. And I think that's what makes it really hard for players. And especially for Mexican soccer players the last years. I mean, since the league started, I think it's been tough. And I for me, it's my dream to kind of show and represent Mexico in the NWSL, because I don't think it's happened really before. And that's why it's so important to me, and that's why it's my dream.
Maria, so we talked a lot about your little stint with Houston this summer and your limited minutes with Chicago right when you were drafted. I'm going to test your confidence right now. I want you to just ooze confidence. For fans that aren't familiar with you in the NWSL and your style of games, what are the 3 biggest things that you bring to the pitch?
I think the 3 biggest things. Okay. I think I can be great at assisting. I think for me, personally, it's exciting to score, but I think I get more excited when I'm able to give off an assist. I think another thing that's really important is that I'm left-footed. I think that's something that, I'm lucky to have, because not a lot of players are left-footed, and I think that's what sometimes teams are looking for. And unfortunately, that's what Houston was looking for in me, and is really excited about. So I think my left foot, and then just my style of play, I think I like to make the crowd scream. I like to get them excited. I like to meg a lot. So so I think that will help, at least with spectator watching the game, that hopefully I can get them excited with my style of play, and hopefully, assist off of that and get a couple megs too.
A few megs, some fancy skills, some left-footed assists thrown into the mix. We will have you oozing confidence. Own it, own your skills, own what you do. I'm pumped to watch it happen. So some left-footed megs and assists. We'll see it all. The crowd will be going wild. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I sure hope so.
Yeah, I'm here for it too. Even just the little that I got to see just watching your rookie year here, I was like, this is it. This is what the NWSL needs right here. It's important. And maybe I want to maybe step back to that a little bit, where you're chatting a little bit about representation, right? We hear a lot about that in this league, and even with your limited time here initially in your rookie season, that was something that resonated with fans, that even themselves sort of felt underrepresented, right, in this league a little bit, that even having a rookie coming in, that this was someone that they looked at and they connected with immediately, right? But you can maybe elaborate on that a little bit more, again, because it's maybe you and I have talked off mic before, and chatted a little bit about the importance of that, but not just the importance of like having representation on a roster, but also like diversity of like in terms of play and style. And I love that is something that is that's something that is of equal importance to you. So in terms of NWSL, right, and then fitting into what people can consider, players have said it like a very physical league. what is it about this league that and its style of play that you have maybe tried to adapt and work into your own style of play?
Yeah, I think the physicality, the NWSL in general, I think a lot of players have noticed how different physically it is. I think it's something that I could learn to adapt myself, and have a little bit of both, have a little bit of skill and fancy footwork, but also be able to get back and defend and be able to get used to the transitions. I think that's something that's going to be big in my career and that hopefully I can get adapted to quickly, because I also think it would be important for Mexican soccer. We sometimes lack that. Sometimes we've noticed it in international matches where we could hang on to teams for quite a bit with just our technicality and movements. But I think something we lack is that physicality, that aggressiveness, and I think hopefully me being in Houston and the NWSL, I'll be able to hang on to that and take it back to our trainings in Mexico and hopefully start growing with Mexico on that aspect.
I love it. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to cover it. Whenever we have interviews on Attacking Third, Maria, we always try to close out interviews with like a little bit of fun. And I was so excited to get you on because I'm like, I'm pretty sure this might be the only time on it, or at least the first time on Attacking Third where we could talk a little bit about like Mexican culturalisms. And I'm excited to chat about that with you. But we're getting you on like in January. So it's like, we're like post holidays, right? We're post Christmas, Tres Reyes, we did Happy New Year. So in the little bit of off season that you had, what were some of the things that you enjoyed in terms of the holidays or some of the family traditions that you enjoyed during the holidays?
I mean, I think Christmas is a big one in my house. I think it's the time where all of my family unites. We play music, we have tamales. We stay up till midnight to open presents. So I think that's a very Mexican traditional
Christmas is
thing.
on Christmas Eve, right? We gotta let them know.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, just and the food I can't explain to you how good it is. So I think, fortunately my parents are still very tied with the Mexican culture, and I'm still able to go home and have that Mexican food. But I mean, it is something that I'll miss from Mexico is the traditions and the food and everything, and the passion that the fans have. I mean, you guys have seen some of the stadium sellouts and how crazy the people get, and yeah, I think that's what I'll miss the most.
Maria, the tamales, Sandra has talked about them. She's been selling me, her mom makes them. So for you, is there a certain kind? I know Sandra was mentioning the cheese ones, but what about you? Is there a certain one that you lean into?
I mean, the cheese ones are really good, but I think my favorite are the red chili pork ones. I love those.
Wow.
So
okay. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't too sure if I was going to expect, puerco con rojo. I wasn't too sure about that. I'm a very simple girl. On Christmas, like when I get my tamales, I like either like queso con raja or I'll just go for like frijoles. Like if you just give me a tamal de frijoles, I'll be like a happy camper. Like I don't need a whole lot for sure. But I was just curious because I'm like, there's some families that really do it big. There's some families that do like, they're like the everything. Like they do pozole, they do mole, tamales. Like we don't do all that. We just focus on tamales. But I was just curious of like you guys like go heavy, or if you're heavy hitters and do it all. But we just stick to the tamales on my side of the other family. So I was like, I'm curious. I want to ask her for sure. But I mean, that is something that you said you're going to miss. It's a different soccer culture, right? It's a different culture in general when you're coming from Liga MX Femenil and then coming in to NWSL. But again, with that announcement video, I do love that there was a moment where you were buying it looked like some tacos from a truck right outside. That was really dope too. I want to ask for people behind the scenes, what kind of tacos did you order? Or was it just a prop?
It was honestly just a prop, but
Oh,
I would have,
no.
I would have ordered probably some asada tacos.
There we go. We got a confirmation. If Maria's going to be ordering tacos, they're going to be the asada. Right on. I want to thank you, Maria, for joining us today. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I would love to have you back on as the season progresses and check in with you and see what how things are going with Houston. We always want to thank our listeners at the end of the episode for joining us and listening along. As always, once again, Maria, thank you for being here. You can follow us on Twitter at Attacking Third. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere you listen to your podcast shows. You can leave us a 5-star review on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts with a question, and Lisa and I will answer it during our mailbag segment. We're also available as video. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Visit youtube.com/Attacking Third, and we'll be back with more NWSL content for you all in the future. For Sandra Herrera, Lisa Roman, and Maria Sánchez, this was Attacking Third.